What is up, you guys? Josh here, back at it again today with a brand new product review. Today we're talking to you guys about the Wested Leather Adventure Boots, which you can see here behind me. As you guys know, I'm putting together a highly accurate Raiders of the Lost Ark / Last Crusade cosplay, just because of the fact that Indiana Jones is one of my all-time favorite movie characters, which is the reason why you see sort of the Wested Leather Raiders jacket that I'm wearing right now pretty much in front of you. As you guys know, I'm a huge fan of the film franchise, and with the fact that the new movie is coming out soon, the past year or so I wanted to kind of put together a highly accurate Indiana Jones cosplay. With the fact that I got my Kubrick hat not too long ago, the next piece of business is the fact that I needed to order sort of the jacket, which was the Wested Leather. Wested Leather is pretty much the company that actually produced jackets for all 4 of the Indiana Jones movies, while actually excluding Temple of Doom because that was a French company that actually made sort of the jacket for that film. But Wested Leather offers sort of their own sort of version of that jacket, and you know, this is pretty much as close as you're going to get to actually owning sort of the jacket that Harrison Ford wears pretty much in all of the Indiana Jones movies, which is the reason why I buy from this company to this day. With that being the case, I looked online and I was kind of trying to decide whether or not I was going to buy sort of the Alden 405s. The Aldens being sort of the famous indie boots that Harrison Ford wears in all 4 movies. Those boots were a little bit out of my price range right now. I was kind of looking between them and the Wested Leather boots because I was thinking about buying the Wested Leather Adventure boots before. And when I went to go buy sort of the Wested Leather boots in the past, you know, they were pretty much all sold out. They didn't have the sizing that I needed, especially for my boots and stuff like that. So I opted to kind of wait and buy those later when sort of they had more sizing options available. And Wested just dropped sort of their new version of this indie boot, and I think it's fan-freaking-tastic. I think it's definitely worth the price of admission, especially if you're thinking about buying sort of replica boots in the style of Indiana Jones. You don't want to sort of fork out sort of the, you know, $500 that it would take to kind of purchase the Alden 405s. Now, with that being the case, I still do eventually want to purchase the Alden 405s. I just figured with the fact that I want to kind of save a little bit of money and purchase myself a PlayStation 5 in the near future, I would go with the Wested Leather boots and wear those out and kind of see if I like them first before I eventually do drop the money for the Alden 405s, and then kind of maybe review those for you guys on this channel eventually when I do get those boots. But for now, you know, I'm talking to you guys about the Wested Leather Adventure boots, which I definitely think are just as good, if not as good, as the Alden 405s. And for a considerably sort of modest budget, you know, this is $190 compared to the $500 that you'd be spending at, you know, sort of Alden's website. Now, famously speaking, when Harrison Ford was offered sort of, you know, indie boots to kind of wear throughout the entirety of Indiana Jones, the costume designer pretty much offered Harrison Ford a multitude of different sort of indie boots, and he was like, you know what, nope, I'm going to be wearing sort of the Alden 405s. They're the boots that Harrison Ford wore as sort of a carpenter in the past before he pretty much became famous in the movie industry, and so that is the reason why Alden 405s are actually the indie boots that Harrison Ford wears to this day, the films. So let me grab the Wested Leather Adventure boots after I've been pretty much talking to you guys about the Alden 405s for a while, and kind of give you guys my thoughts and opinions of the Wested Leather Adventure boots, and I'll kind of give you guys my final thoughts on the boots themselves because, like I said before, I think that they're great even not being sort of Alden 405s. But let me grab those for you guys just a quick second here, and I'll get back to you guys in the video. These are the Wested Leather Adventure boots. These are designed to replicate the Alden 405s, which I've been talking to you guys about. These boots definitely amazed me when I first, you know, opened these up out of the packaging. You know, I bought these boots on a Thursday and they arrived the next week on a Monday, so it's a fairly, you know, fast lead time in terms of shipping and stuff like that, all things considered, especially with everything kind of going on in the current state of the world right now. And I really love these boots. I think they're just as good, like I said before, if not as good as the Alden 405s. And I think that if you took these to a convention and you're wearing these as sort of a cosplay, or if you just had these sitting in a movie room, these would definitely be conversation starter pieces. This would definitely be something that I think anybody would be hard pressed to confuse with sort of the Alden 405s if they did not know any better. One of the things that I like about these versions of the boots is the fact that they have the really iconic stitching around sort of the sole here of the boot. It's relatively flush with the rest of the boot itself. You got sort of that famous and iconic sort of stitching on the top here. You know, you got these really cool laces that Wested gives you. And they also give you an extra pair, especially if you want to switch them out later on or something like that, or you damage them, so you got like an extra pair to wear while you're wearing these boots out in public. The next thing that you're going to want to take account of is the fact that these are oil resistant leather boots. These are made out of real leather, so it's pretty much the same that you'd be getting if you're getting sort of the Alden 405s, which are also made out of real leather, which I definitely appreciate for the fact that these are, you know, not cheap by any means, and that these are pretty much almost the exact same as you would get sort of with the Alden 405s. Another thing that that you get here, sort of in the inside of the boot, I don't know if you guys can see it relatively quickly, is you get the Wested leather logo with sort of Indiana Jones little guy here in the center of the boot, which I definitely think is a nice added touch. On the back, you also get sort of the Wested leather logo, which kind of states, you know, these are made by Wested leather and stuff like that. But like I said before, Wested leather is the original jacket makers for all four of the Indiana Jones films, excluding Temple of Doom as well as Last Crusade, but they do offer replica versions of those jackets on their website. I bought from them in the past, and I really do like Wested leather's work. You know, I definitely think that their products are high quality, made out of really great material and stuff like that, and definitely won't wear over time. And I definitely think that this is a boot that's no exception. When I opened this out of the box, I quickly became, I fell in love with this thing. You know, I wasn't really expecting much from these boots, especially being cosplay pieces, and these pretty much blew my expectations out of the water, which is one of the reasons why I felt the need to kind of review this for you guys on my channel. Like I said before, makes amazing products, and every time that I bought from them in the past, they've been exceptionally great to me, which is one of the reasons why I continue to buy from them to this day, especially with these boots. I definitely see myself, if I ever need boots in the future, considering myself buying these again. I would highly recommend you guys getting these boots if you guys are thinking about buying these boots for yourselves. I think that they're worth the money, especially being $190 compared to, the Aldens, which are $500 right now. And I think that if you want to buy sort of the Alden 405s, obviously for the accuracy and sort of the attention to detail that you would get with those, it's also, something that's totally up to you. But, for me personally, I felt for the price of these boots, the fact that they look just as great as sort of the Aldens, these boots are fantastic. And if I was going to be grading these, I'd have to give them about an A. I would have to say that these are relatively great boots, and I think they're high quality material and stuff like that, and they're probably not going to wear off on you as, much as sort of the Alden 405s would. The sole and everything is made pretty much out of rubber material and stuff like that. So you got your sort of, really great quality material that Wested leather provides you, and I think that the stitching and stuff like that on these boots is relatively great. And in any case, I think that these are fantastic replicas of the Indiana Jones boots. Definitely worth the money, especially if you're looking in the market for Indiana Jones boots and you don't want to break the bank and stuff like that. These are definitely worth the price that you would pay for anything else. Like I said before, I really do love these boots, and I did order a size 10. I'm usually a 9.5, so I did go a size up just because of the fact that these run a little bit smaller from Wested's website. So do keep that in mind if you're thinking about buying these boots for yourself. But I would definitely buy these again if I had to in the near future. But like I said before, hopefully you guys learn a thing or two about the movie industry. And as always, guys, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.